Right, Gloria, it's one thing to disagree with the ad, but it's another when you're calling into question basically the credibility of Tim Tebow's mom, Pam. Is that what you're doing here when you're questioning whether or not she could have gotten an abortion in the Philippines? Sounds like it. Go ahead.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, and you're right, none of us have seen this ad yet, but what I'm saying is it's clear that at the time that she had to make this choice, it was illegal and still is in the Philippines for a woman to have an abortion. And the penal code in the Philippines made no exception, even to save the life of the mother. And so I'm saying that that should be part of this ad, that it is a crime, and that was the choice, whether to commit a crime. And by the way, the person who had the abortion and the person who gave the abortion, a doctor, a midwife, another health care provider, all could be sentenced to prison in the Philippines for providing an abortion or for having one.
Okay, a couple of things I saw. I read a UN document that said in the Philippines there are one stipulation: you can have an abortion if the mother's life is at risk. And it's believed that at that time that Tim Tebow's mom, Pam, could have had an abortion. It was pretty easy to get. So, you know, we don't have her or anybody at that time to tell us, but it sounds like it was on the table and it wouldn't have been that hard for her to get.
Well, the Alan Guttemacher Institute says that there is no legal exception in the penal code. There are those who would make an argument that perhaps if one argued necessity, that maybe there could be an abortion to save the life of the mother. But we don't know that. There is no exception, even for rape, in the penal code of the Philippines. So what that means is women are faced with the choice, many of them, of committing a crime, and they don't have the choice of having a legal, safe, affordable, available abortion, which is what I think people should have.
Okay.
So I think that we really need to know all of the facts, and all of the facts should be in the ad, not just some of the facts.
Well, how, and obviously the question is, you pay $2.5 million for a 30-second ad. It's tough to get all of those details in there. And then the second thing is, she could have had an abortion, chose not to, gave birth, Tim Tebow's the result. That's their story. What's wrong with that? They're just telling their story, and from what we gather, it's not going to be heavy-handed. Certainly it's pro-life in its essence, but your problems with that, Gloria?
Well, no, I know. I mean, I guess I'm expecting, I don't know, it to be kind of a sugar-coated, religiously inspired ad. I personally don't want to see any advocacy ads during the Super Bowl. I think that millions of Americans would prefer to focus on the football and maybe some fun commercials, but not this kind of ad. So I think, again, they should give all the facts. You know, millions of women die from illegal and unsafe abortions. That's not a choice. And even where a woman can argue that it's necessary to save her life, in the Philippines, she would have to go before a board of medical professionals to make that case, or the doctor would. How humiliating is that?
Right.
And often a woman isn't going to know if her life is at risk. So, and what kind of doctor is going to recommend that a woman have an abortion if it's illegal to do so, and if he or she could be subjected to prison terms if they perform it? So, you know, I just think there are a lot of questions about this story. I'd like to know the names of the doctors who recommended the
again,
abortion.
so you feel, I mean, Pam Tebow went through this. You're calling her credibility into question. Do you feel good about that, Gloria?
Well, I'm not calling her credibility into question, but I would like to know more facts, and I'd like them to include the fact that really it's not a choice for so many women in the Philippines and in many other countries.
She says it was. And Gloria, thanks again for coming on. We'll have the other side coming up.
If it's possibly illegal.
Jim Daly's with us, President and CEO, Focus on the Family, working with the Tebows to tell their story. Jim, you heard Gloria's concerns there about what happened in the Philippines at the time. I'll let you start commenting there.
Sure, Michael. Good to be with you again.
Yeah, thanks.
The first thing is just you can go to the Guttemacher research, and Guttemacher, remember, is an arm of Planned Parenthood, but you can go to their website. It took us about 3 seconds to pull up a research paper about the Philippines where abortion's been available. It may have been illegal and still is, as Gloria pointed out, but abortion's been available since about 1970. Now, Tim was born in 1987, and I think, you know, it's a strange point. We have airplanes today. You know, if Pam Tebow wanted to get her abortion, I think she probably would have come to the United States to do it. So, you know, I just think this is an attorney chasing an ambulance.
Well, there are people that are pro-choice that are going to have issue with this, right? What would, if a pro-choice message or a pro-choice ad came out, would you be okay with that? Does that further the conversation?
Absolutely. I mean, they can go to CBS, and I would say it's been good to work with CBS. It was not easy. We had to shoot our commercial a certain way, have a certain script, and what I am trying to do in this whole thing, and I believe Pam and Tim, what they're trying to accomplish here is to simply celebrate life, celebrate family, and one thing, if pro-choice people are pro-choice, why not celebrate that part of the choice? I mean, they're simply saying, we kept Tim, and it was a great decision. And what we want to accomplish at Focus on the Family is raising that debate, opening it up to say, life is a good choice, and we think the better choice.
Right. What can you tell us about the ad? Again, you said not many people have seen it. What, a handful? I mean, I know you can't give away too much, but is it heavy-handed? Would you call it where people come away, they're eating their chips, waiting for the next play in the game, and they're going to come away wrestling with the issue of abortion?
I think everyone, including Gloria, will like this ad. I mean, it is a warm and inspirational ad, and it's not a downer at all. It's not heavy-handed, and we, again, want to celebrate. We know this is a difficult issue. We don't want to trivialize it, but at the same time, we want to open up the discussion. They're talking about the fact that the Super Bowl is no place to have this ad run, and prime time's no place to have it run, and daytime is no place to have it run. And the point is, okay, good. When can we start the debate and the discussion on how to save more children? And I think, President Obama and others have called for Americans to try to make abortion rare. That's what we're trying to do. Let's talk about it. How do we get church involved? How do we get people to adopt these children? How do we get women who have an unwanted pregnancy to say, although I can't keep the child, I want to give that child life? America is good enough to do that. We are a better culture than killing 1 million kids a year and ending their opportunity at life.
All right. Jim Daly, thanks. You heard both sides, everybody. If you want to continue, conversation's still going on Facebook. Jim Daly, thanks again.